Right, more now on our top story, the situation in Bangkok. May Wong joins us now live. May, earlier in the hour, protesters, as you've mentioned, had broken through the barriers and were marching to Parliament. What is the situation like now? Has it settled down?
As you can see, they have arrived right outside the Parliament House. As you see, the protesters managed to break through the barriers, even to try and figure out exactly what is going on inside the Parliament House. Parliamentarians are continuing to debate inside the House, and also the people here want to know exactly what is going on. Now you've got the police pushing the protesters back a little bit more as the entrance is just right over there, less than 50 meters away to the entrance of the Parliament House. Many of the parliamentarians are still inside. They know exactly what's going on the outside, and they've actually called for calm. In fact, the House Speaker has asked the people to not create any chaos and to remain safe outside. Now you see, these are all the protesters who have actually settled down right now. I just want to show you the picture that they've decided to sit down, and actually this is the exact mission that they were trying to accomplish, to be right outside here in Parliament House, because 1 month ago they were actually situated here demanding for the parliamentarians to give the people an explanation on exactly which part of the Constitution they want changed. However, earlier the police disallowed them to come in here, but now they have finally made it to the doorstep of the Parliament House, and obviously you see they have no intentions of leaving this area until and unless the parliamentarians decide on what to do. Now inside, the debate is ongoing with parliamentarians. They are going to decide on 7 constitutional bills in terms of the amendments and how they're going to go about doing it. But the House is deeply divided between the pro-ruling government party as well as the opposition parties. Both of them cannot agree on which constitutional amendment to actually choose and decide upon. And therein lies this deadlock as to why the citizens are out here demanding to see exactly what is going to come off of it, and also to see whether or not it's going to meet their expectations.
May, also, do you have any idea what is it going to take for these protesters to, leave the site? And, what are we looking at? Are we looking at days? Are we looking at weeks?
Well, we're talking about the fact that it might end up sleeping overnight, because the parliamentarians are expected to take a vote tomorrow. I do understand that they may be able to take a vote in terms of every MP as well as every senator will be able to vote on the 7 bills tomorrow at 4 p.m. Bangkok time. But I also understand that the voting is going to take place for at least 4 hours. So you can just imagine, with emotions running extremely high, and also with the protesters not willing to back off, they have said before that they will stay put outside Parliament House, not going anywhere else, but they will be determined to try and pressure the parliamentarians to make a decision on exactly what kind of constitutional change will take place. But before I go, I just want to point out what are some of the differences in the constitutional amendment demands. For example, the government says, yes, we will want to amend the Constitution, but only selectively, in terms of only selected chapters, not too many chapters. And obviously the government side of it, they say do not touch the monarchy at all. That means there are 2 chapters in the Constitution that the ruling party will not want to even go near. On the opposition side, they say the first thing to get rid of is the government-appointed senators. 250 of the government-appointed senators must go, and that every parliamentarian sitting in the House must be elected by the people and not be appointed by the government, because they say the Constitution is undemocratic, as it was backed by the military military during the coup. And that's the reason why they want an overhaul of the constitution. One final point I want to make as well is the fact that there is also a civil group that has handed in their motion, making it 7 motions altogether. But that is the most contentious, given the fact that they want to overhaul a lot of the electoral system and also to make sure that the senators have their powers curbed, meaning the senators will no longer in the future be able to select the Prime Minister. And that is very crucial because at this stage, Prime Minister Prayut Chan-o-cha was brought into the House and be able to continue to be the Prime Minister simply because the senators had allowed him to be in the House in that position. And that's the reason why many of the citizens are unhappy. They want Prime Minister Prayut Chan-o-cha to quit, they want the constitution to be overhauled, and eventually they also want a reformation of the monarchy.
Many thanks, May, for that. Speaking to us at the doorstep of Parliament House, as she mentioned, in between the anti-government protesters and the Parliament building. Thanks very much for that, May. Do stay safe. We'll be checking in with the situation in Bangkok throughout the evening here on Channel News Asia and in tomorrow as the lawmakers stay in session for 2 days.